Today po ulit, ang ating pong topic ay pagpapatuloy po ng history of acupuncture. So, introduction, traditional Chinese medicine o TCM, siyempre originated po ito in ancient China and has evolved over thousands of years. TCM practitioners use herbal medicine and various mind and body practices such as acupuncture and tai chi to treat or prevent health problems. So, noong unang panahon pa po talaga, ito na yung ginagamit ng mga ninuno sa China. Gumagamit na sila ng herbal, tapos yung mga exercises po, tulad ng tai chi, qigong, yung ginagamit na po nila yan. The ancient beliefs on which TCM is based include the following. So, ito po yung mga paniniwala na ang human body is a miniature version of the larger surrounding universe. So, ibig sabihin nito, kung ang katawan mo ay may disease, ang environment mo ay may disease din. Kasi siya yun yung parang dito na mo makikita yung reflection ng environment mo. Harmony between two opposing yet complementary forces called Yin and Yang supports health and disease, results from an imbalance between these forces. Kasi nga dapat yung yin and yang sa environment man o sa katawan ay dapat balance yung ating init at lamig. So pag hindi na po yan nag-balance, yun yung nakakaroon ng disease. Then, 5 elements, ito po yung fire, earth, wood, metal, and water, symbolically represent all phenomena including the stages of human life. So dito po makikita po natin doon sa mga susunod nating pag-aaralan, na nakarelate ito sa stage ng buhay ng tao and explain the functioning of the body and how it changes during disease. Qi, ito po yung energy, a vital energy that flows through the body. Ito po yung dumadali sa ating buong katawan, performs multiple function in maintaining health. So napakalaking role ng Qi or energy sa ating body upang manatili tayong malusog. So, acupuncture has existed since the Han Dynasty in China. So, over 2,000 years ago. So, matagal na po, Introduced in Europe in the 7th century. Sa Europe, 17th century lang nila ginamit. During the Warring States era, ito yung 421 to 221 before Christ, metal needles replace the stone needles. Dati kasi po, ang ginagamit nun, yung mga stone. Yun yung pinang-acupuncture ng mga ninuno. So, natuklasan na po na itong metal. Kaya unti-unti pong nabago hanggang naging smooth na yung mga needle. So, from 260 to 265, after death po ito, AD, after death of Jesus Christ yan. Physician Wang Mumi organized all the ancient literature into his classic texts. So, nagkaroon na po ng mga documentation. Inipon na po nitong doktor na to, si Wang Fumi. So, nagkaroon na itong Acupuncture and Moxibustion book. Acupuncture was used exclusively during the Long March, 1934 to 35. So, nakatulong po ito para ma-maintain ang kalusugan ng mga sundalong nakikipaglaban sa China. Ito yung kanilang ginagamit na panggagamot. Kasi needle lang yung dala mo, pero yung mga sugat, yung mga pain ay nalulunasan po. Traditional form of medicine have been used in China since 3rd century. So, traditional Chinese medicine, TCM system, consists 3 parts. So, ito po yun sa pag-aaral, may theory, ito yung yin and yang, at saka 5 elements. Ito po yung pinakang foundation sa pinag-aaralan. Pag natututunan natin to, natututunan natin paano yung mag-diagnose. Then, treatment. Siyempre, gumagamit po ng herbalism, then acupuncture, moxibustion, cupping, massage therapy. Then, number 3 po, yung sa prevention naman, ito po gumagamit ng mga exercise tulad ng qigong, tai chi, meditation, tsaka yung massage. So sa Taoist Yin Yang concept po, sinasabi dito na ang Yang predominates during the day. So ibig sabihin po, mas pag-araw, ang Yang ang mas mataas, malakas. And turn into Yin, nagiging Yin, after dark, pag gumagabi na. The human body is regarded as the universe in miniature. When the Yin and Yang elements in a person's body are well balanced, the person is in good health. So ibig sabihin po, yung katawan daw ng tao, dapat balance lagi ang lamig at init or yin and yang. Yun. Pag hindi na po ito nag-balance, ando na makakaramdam ka na ng diseases, nagkakaroon ka na ng sakit. A person falls sick within the balance is disrupted. So ayan po ano, malitin natin. So 5 elements theory. Sa 5 vital organs, andyan po yung heart, liver, spleen, lungs, and kidney. And each seen as corresponding to one of the 5 elements of earth, wood, metal, and water. So yung mga organ po sa ating katawan ay nakalagay din yan dun sa 5 elements. The 5 organ function in an interlocked and interconnected relationship. So may mga relasyon po yan. Yan nakikita natin sa drawing. So it is believed a pathological change in any of the vital organ will affect the health of other organs. Na pinaniniwalaan nga na kung magkaroon ng suliranin o disease ang isang organ, ay aapektuhan din ito ang iba pang organo ng ating katawan. So TCM encompasses many different practices including, so ito po yung acupuncture, cuffing, yung paggamit po ng mga yung mga baso, kaya lang ngayon high-tech na, so kahit hindi na baso yung gamit, yung pinupush na lang. Moxibustion, burning an herb above the skin to apply heat to acupuncture points. Yung paggamit po ng mga halamang gamot. Then Chinese herbal medicine and tuina, Chinese therapeutic massage. Siyempre mahalaga po ito yung sa pagkain, dietary therapy. Then number 7 yung Tai Chi and Qigong. So practice that combine specific movements of posture, coordinated breathing, and mental focuses. So yung Qi po, ginagather niya para maging malakas ang katawan. Okay po. So Chinese herbal medicine, ito po yung book ng Chinese Materia Medica. Pharmacological reference book po ito na ginagamit ng TCM practitioner. Dito po nakapaloob, describe thousands of medicinal substances. Ito po yung may mga halamang gamot, hindi lang po halamang gamot, pati mga minerals and animal products. Nandito po sa book na to, mababasa natin. So different parts of plants such as leaves, roots, stem, flower, and seeds are used. So in TCM, herbs are often combined in formulas and given as teas, capsules, liquid, extract, granules, or powder. So, pinaghahalo-halo po yan na ginagamit na gamot. So, thank you po.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Mildred Digmas, certified acupuncturist from Apayao. Let's proceed to history of TCM and the 4 classics. Let's listen to Ma'am Teresita Sumile from Rizal. Good afternoon po.
Good afternoon po, Dr. Hector. And now let's talk about the Warring States period. It became at the end of the Zhou dynasty, marked by political strife and social upheaval. 2 philosophers emerged during this time. They are Confucius and Lao Tzu. Their ideas concerning social and natural order have had a lasting impact on Chinese culture. Medicine began to view the human body as no longer a subject to the whims of spirits and demons, but as a part of nature and subject to recognizable natural relationships. The Han Empire, established 206 BC to 220 AD, created a stable aristocratic social disorder, expanded geographically and economically. Chinese political influence spread throughout Vietnam and Korea. Chinese people began to refer to themselves as the Han. Great development occurred, including the integration of the Confucian doctrine, elements of Yin and Yang, and the five-phase theory. Early texts of this period recovered dating to 168 BC discussed magical and demonological concepts, ideas about yin and yang in relation to the body and channels in the body. Texts mention moxibustion and the use of heated stones. No mention of acupuncture or specific body points. Appearance of the first known formal presentation of individual medicinal substances called the Divine Husbandman's Classic and the Materia Medica. The Classic of Difficult Issues was compiled sometime during the 1st and 2nd century AD, attributed to the legendary physician Bian Xie, influenced Chinese medicine practice and its practice in Japan. Organized theory and practice of therapeutic acupuncture systematically in terms of body structure, illness, and diagnosis. Almost entirely devoid of magical elements, known as a commentary on the inner classic. Zhang Zhongqing wrote the treatise on cold damage and the survey of important elements from the golden cabinet and jade container during the 2nd century AD. Mostly philosophical Chinese medical texts viewed disease from a clinical standpoint, emphasized physical signs, symptoms, disease course, treatment method, and the action of substance use, similar to the classic of difficult issues. Placed special focus on fevers due to the common occurrence of villager deaths related to fever epidemics. Texts remained relatively obscure until the Song dynasty after AD 960. During which medical thinkers realized the similarity of these concepts of diagnosis and therapy in relation to their own concerns, largely influenced herbal medicine practice in Japan. Wat Tu, near legendary figure in Chinese medicine. He is an acupuncturist, herbalist, and surgeon. Adaptation of animal postures is an early form of Qigong. Successfully practiced surgery through use of plant anesthetic properties. Use of surgery faded with the departure of Wat Tu, and then minor surgery for growths, hemorrhoids, castration, and wound healing continued. Wang Pongmi wrote the systematic classic of acupuncture. Then text had extensive influence over the acupuncture traditions of China, Korea, and Japan. Text presented unrecognized material from the inner classic and earlier texts. Histories of individual physicians and texts reflect the medicine of the literate elite of China, excluding 80% of the total population, which consisted of farmers, peasants, and farming villages. Like for those individuals, was one of bare subsistence. They worked extremely hard to stay at this level and were completely dependent on the soil and the weather. Lacked exposure to formal education and were generally illiterate. Little is known about what they knew or thought. Their traditions were regularly oriented and full of folk superstition and historical legend. Aspirations dominated by the hope of survival. Non-literate traditions of the Chinese people were explored by some authors of material medica. First, systematic publication of this material followed that Qing. Most folk herbal and medical tradition exploration occurred under the guidance of the post-revolutionary government of China, resulted in texts such as the Barefoot Doctor's Manual. The Han Dynasty fell in AD 220, following 30 years of strife and religious rebellion by Taoist sects. This resulted in another long period of division in China. Yun lang po. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Teresita Sumile. We now go to Baguio for presentation by Ma'am Vina Pasqua. Let's listen to Yin Yang Principles. Good afternoon, Ma'am Vina.
Good afternoon po, Doctor. Good afternoon po sa lahat. So, Yin and Yang, Principle 2 po. Continuation po. Yin within Yang. So, in nature, the moon in relation to the sun is Yin. But if the moon is viewed in relation to the night, yun po yung Yang. Kaya yung moon, which is Yin in relation to the sun, contains Yang pag if viewed in relation to the night. Yin within Yang, Yang within Yin. A cold winter day is Yin in relation to a warm summer day. But this cold winter day is Yang in relation to an even colder winter day. Whether something is Yin or Yang always nakadepende po on the relation in which it is viewed. Then Yin within Yang, Yang within Yin. In human beings, a Yang disease that can be characterized by heat can be accompanied by palagi pong umiihi, which pertains to Yin. Pag ang Yin disease that is characterized by cold can be accompanied by hyperactivity, which pertains to Yang naman. So Yin within Yang, Yang within Yin. In everyday clinic, we can observe na yung patients with cold symptoms, so Yin yun, pinapakita po yung heat symptoms yung Yang, and patients with heat symptoms, Yang, also show cold symptoms. So yun yung Yin. Sometimes this process can be very complex and we have to pay a close attention to accurate differentiation. So Yin within Yang, Yang within Yin. Example po, dampness can originate from dryness. Kasi po, yung dampness can be very obvious. The underlying dryness can be overlooked. Recognizing the Yin within Yang o kaya yung Yang within Yin is fundamental for the success of the treatment. Interdependence of Yin and Yang. So in nature, pag walang araw, wala ring gabi. Without winter, wala ring summer. Ganyan po yung interdependence. Sa human being naman, there are active people because there are passive people. Everything exists only in relation to each other. So Yin and Yang are opposites but are also mutually dependent sa isa't isa. Yin nourishes Yang yang produces yin. Pag mahina po yung yang, yin is not produced sufficiently. If yin is weak naman, yang can no longer be sufficiently nourished. Ay, sandali po, nawala ako. Nawala po ako. Okay na po, Doc. Okay, interdependence of yin and yang. Yin can't exist without yang, and yang can exist without yin. Therefore, yang deficiency can originate from yin deficiency, and yung yin deficiency naman can originate from yang deficiency. So, dito nakikita natin yung yin deficiency. Interdependence of yin and yang. Qi, yung yang of the lungs, nagsusuporta po sa heart in the blood production. Vice versa is qi of the lungs nourished by blood. So, yung blood yin of the heart. So, yan lang po. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you sa lahat.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Vina. Let's now proceed to the 5 elements. Let's call back Ma'am Mildred Digma from Apayao.
Hello po ulit. So, ang ating pong topic ay ang 5 elements. Five elements. Ayan po, parang review po natin ulit, ano? So, ang 5 elements, start tayo sa wood. So, Sheng cycle, ito po yung tinatawag na Sheng cycle o creation cycle, ano? So, pag nag-start ka sa wood, wood feeds fire. Kasi diba, yun yung ginagawa natin gatong. Then, fire makes earth, kasi nagiging abo. Earth creates metal. Nabubuo po siya. Then, metal holds water. Kasi pangharang natin sa tubig. So, ganun po yung cycle. Ganun po yung ating cycle ng Sheng o creating cycle. So, yung paano yung Sheng cycle, creating cycle, water to wood, yun po yung ano, normal direction, ano. Yan. Yan ang normal direction ng Sheng cycle. Water created wood, wood create fire, fire create earth, earth create metal, metal create water. Nag-umaharang siya sa tubig. The Sheng cycle is a creation cycle. So, it illustrates how each element generates and nurtures the next, similar to the relationship between mother and child. So, yun po yung kanina, wood creates fire. Wood is burned to make fire. Fire creates earth. When fire burns, it leaves ash, which creates earth. Earth creates metal. The earth produces the ore from which we create metal tools. Metal creates water. Water condenses on a metal surface. Water creates wood. Water is vital to a tree's ability to grow and provide wood. So, yun po yung explanation ng Sheng cycle. So, from a clinical perspective, people develop digestive issue from irregular eating. Yan. Hindi ka normal kumakain sa tamang oras. Then, excessive worry and overwork. Lagi kang nag-iisip, sobra-sobra ka magtrabaho. So, ang mangyayari po sa iyong metal elements ay magkakaroon ng dampness. So, which then affect the metal elements. Within this case, you may see combination of floating gas and poor energy with development of metal lung symptoms. Ito po yung nagkakaroon ng sinusitis or phlegm-type asthma. Ayan po. Dito siya nagmula sa metal. Yan. Pwede niyang i-attack si wood. Yan. So, ang relation naman po ng control or key cycle, ito po ay yung grandmother and grandson relationship. So, controlling cycle din po ito, no? Si metal, kaya niyang i-control si wood. Pamputol. May explanation pa po ito dun sa ating next slide. Si wood, Ayan po, yung explanation. So, key cycle is one of the control and describe how each element acts to restrain another. Paano niya harangan yung isa. So, wood controls earth. Wood is used to mold the earth into dam. Diba? Pag ginawa mong dam, hindi na, yun yung ginagamit mo yung earth. Earth controls water. A dam restrains the flow of water. Siyempre, haharangan mo yung tubig ng lupa. Water controls fire. Pag binuhusan mo ng tubig, yung fire mamamatay. Water is used to extinguish a fire. Fire controls metal. Fire melts metal and allows it to be shaped. Diba yung mga pagmagawa tayo ng itak o kung ano pang mga gamit na ginagamitan ng metal, pinapadala natin para ma-shape sa fire. Metal controls wood. Si metal, pinuputol niya, so is used to harvest trees for wood. Diba yung mga lagare, yung mga chainsaw, yun, siyang pamputol, siyang pang-control kay wood. Yun po yung ibig sabihin niya. The controlling or key grandparent grandchild cycle provides for check and balance system among all of the elements. With this cycle, Earth, for example, provides a control of water and is controlled by wood. An example of this relationship within the bodies in cases of anxiety. Yan. So fire paano? Which are related to liver chi stagnation kay wood. Where over time, you begin to see more kidneys. Maapektuhan niya si kidney, si water. Related sign as the water element attempts to control the overactive fire. Uunawan po natin ito maigi pag meron ng mga case. Overacting cycle naman po yan. Ibig sabihin, sobra na niyang kinokontrol. Halimbawa si water. Sobra na niyang kinokontrol si fire. Yan. Si fire, pwede rin niyang i-overacting si metal. Si metal, ganun din kay wood. Wood to earth. So, yun pa yung mga direction. The overacting cycle or Cheng is imbalance. So, yung pong drawing na yung pa-imbalance po yun. Within the controlling cycle, where the grandmother elements provide too much control over the grandchild. So, pinahihina po niya and weakens the elements. Halimbawa po dun sa kinontrol ni lungs, ni metal si wood. So, pwede pong manghina si wood, si liver. Yan. Within nature, you may see water putting out fire, earth soaking up water, and so on. A clinical example of this relationship would be, liver po, si wood. Pag nag-overact po siya kay spleen o kay earth, in the case you have an overactive wood elements, over-controlling earth, leading to disruption in the digestive system. Yun, halimbawa yung sobra kang nagagalit, i-over-control ni liver si spleen na nasa elements ng earth. Kaya hindi niya magagampanan yung function niya upang magtunaw. So magkakaroon ng digestive system problems. So ito naman po insulting Wu cycle. Ibig sabihin yung nag-reverse. Di ba yung direction kanina, si water to fire. Pero ngayon, si fire naman ang papunta kay water. Si water naman papunta kay earth. Earth to wood. Wood to metal. Reverse, po yan, yung mga point po, bumaliktad. So, insulting po yan. The insulting cycle or Wu cycle is also imbalance within the controlling cycle, where the grandchild insult or return the controlling force generated by the grandmother. So, ang makapangyarihan dito si grandchild. Yan, inaatake niya si grandmother. Using example from nature, you can see fire burning up water. Yung pag sobrang malakas si fire, kaya niyang pahibasin si tubig. And water washing away earth. Pag sobrang malakas si water, talsik lahat ng mga lupa. Di ba? Naaanod and so on. So clinically, you may see this in cases where people have long-term psychological problems. Pag matagal nang may psychological sa pag-iisip, problema sa pag-iisip, sa fire elements po to kasi heart, which eventually affected the kidneys. Yan, si water. As seen in the development of more yin, water deficiency sign, Kasi kung matagal nang si fire ang naghahari, nauubos po yung tubig ng ating katawan. So, yun po, naaano niya na nagagamit. So, salamat po sa ating pakikinig.
Salamat po, Ma'am Mildred. Next, we go to vital substances featuring Qi. Let's listen once again to Ma'am Teresita Sumile.
Good afternoon po ulit, Dr. Hector and classmates. Now let's continue our studies on types of Qi. This vital energy is a functional energy and needs constant fuel or nutrition. This fuel or the stored form of vital energy is called vital essence. One could say that vital energy is like an engine of a car in motion. The more powerful the engine, the faster and better the car moves. Vital essence is like the petrol needed to keep the car in motion. Even the best of engines need fuel. Without fuel, they will come to a standstill sooner rather than later. Okay? The vital energy and vital essence is what we call yin and yang. It is in every organ and every cell of the body, but the kidneys store the vital essence and make the vital energy for the whole body. Therefore, low energy or tiredness is basically a problem of kidney deficiency. So, ang vital essence or qi ay stored by the kidney yin. And the vital energy or qi is made by the kidney yang. Okay? Kidney deficiency energy pattern. Now, as we could see in our tower diagram, it is really clear that there is kidney deficiency because the kidney yang is at the normal level while the kidney yin is not. So deficient po siya. Okay? So energy generally improves after sleep or rest. Short periods of energy burst followed by periods of complete exhaustion, and then best time po ng yin is night and the worst is midday. Then the second diagram illustrates that the kidney yin, which is represented by a dark color, is at a normal level, and the kidney yang, represented by a bright color, is deficient. Hindi siya umabot sa normal level. So, in this case, problems starting to move after sleeping or resting. Lazy. Once they get moving, they can go on without feeling tired until the next rest. The best time is midday and the worst is mornings or upon waking up. Okay? The next diagram is kidney yin and yang deficiency. So kitang-kita naman po natin na both yin and yang are deficient kasi lahat sila hindi umabot sa normal level. So there is always tiredness. Best time is 3 to 7 p.m. Best time on organ clock for the kidney and urinary bladder coupled organ. Vital essence is called qing in Chinese, which also means seminal fluid. Technically, every time a man ejaculates, he loses vital essence. He can build it up during intervals by improving his acquired energy. But if there was a short period during which he loses excessive semen, then his vital essence becomes damaged for life. The ancient classics advocate that man should hold on to semen during sex and that as they become older, they should ejaculate less. So kung ang lalaki ay indulging always in excessive sexual activities, his vital essence becomes damaged for life, not unless he improves his acquired energy by eating nutritious foods every day. Okay? At sa babae naman, he lose vital essence if they have many babies within a short period. Halimbawa for a period of 5 years, nagkaroon siya ng 3 anak. So, hihina talaga ang vital essence niya. Okay? We work with several different types of energy during treatment with acupuncture and traditional Chinese medicine. Now let's go to nourishing energy or Yin Qi. This runs in the deeper channels and in the blood vessels. Made from the purer substances of our nutrition, this energy nourishes our interior and exterior. It can be influenced by food, breathing, sleep, exercise, internal medicine, Bakshu, and Mu front points and C points of the channels. Next is protecting energy or Wei Qi. This flows between the skin and the muscles and in the exterior acupuncture channels, thus protecting the body from climatic factors and other impacts on the exterior surface. It can be influenced by climate, massage, heat or cold on the skin, electrical stimulation, by baths, and by acupuncture. The nourishing and protecting energies are complementary to each other. The interior also nourishes the exterior, thereby helping it function more efficiently. The exterior stimulates and activates the interior, nourishing energy, and protects it from climatic factors. When we treat the acupuncture meridians in the superficial aspect of body, we also stimulate the internal organs. And when one eats and drinks different substances, this can make us cold or hot in the exterior, okay? Now we have also harmful energy, or shall we say evil qi. Energy is not always of a good type. Like everything else, there is the good and the bad. Humans encounter many forms of bad energy during their lifetime, such as excessive stress, bad food, hectic lifestyle, exposure to excessive climatic factors, and emotional pressures. They can all attack the body from outside and from within, thus being a source of pathogenic energy that causes imbalance and illness. For instance, eczema with red and itchy skin is due to excessive heat and wind attacking the lung. But in the process of dispersing this pathogenic wind heat, it should not be transferred to another organ system because it is a harmful. The skin may improve, but another organ could get this pathogenic yang, which causes new symptoms. It has been known that if eczema improves, the patient could get asthma. This means that the pathogenic factor has not been eliminated, but has moved deeper into the organ system. Therefore, it is clear that harmful energy should always channel outwards. Elimination process such as stool, urine, sweat, showing, bringing outwards, anger, or sadness are very important in Chinese medicine. If these are not eliminated but retained within the body, the pathogenic energy can attack any number of organs and may manifest in many symptoms such as depression, asthma, headaches, gastritis, high blood pressure, eczema, and asthma. Now let's go to acquired. Acquired qi can be stored and replenished and is composed of good qi or spin qi, which is derived from food and sustains the physical. Then we have Kong Qi or Lang Qi, which is derived from oxygen or the air we breathe. Then Zong Qi or the chest Qi, derived from the gathering of Gu and Kong Qi in the chest, acted on by Yuan or original Qi to form Zen Qi or Truth Qi, which is also composed of Yin Qi or the nutritive Qi and the Wei Qi or defensive Qi. Okay. Qi classification in Chinese medicine. We have Zen Qi composed of Wei Qi and Yang Qi. Then Zen Qi derives from Yu Qi, Gu Qi, Kong Qi, and the Yuan Qi. Okay. Yun lang po. Thank you so much.
Let's now talk about the Zang-Fu organs. Zang-Fu organs have direct relationship to our emotions and to our physical activities. They are the union of body, the spirit, and the soul. Fear is assigned to kidneys. Disease patterns of the kidneys can cause fear and vice versa. If a patient presents a lot of fear, so we can conclude that the kidneys must have been unbalanced in one way or another. If you find symptoms of kidney patterns, you can assume that fear is present too. Emotional strengths and weaknesses are influenced by and could result from strengths and weaknesses of Zang-Fu organs. Kidneys govern willpower, but in order to implement goals, the willpower needs to be supplemented by the strength of decision-making, which is governed by gallbladder. Lacking strength of decision-making, in turn, influences our physical activities and depends on gallbladder. Applying these ideas of interaction allows us to view people in their wholeness. Zang organs are full, they belong to Yin, and they are more interior. The 5 organs store essential qi and they do not discharge waste. Thus, they are full but cannot be filled. Zang organs are responsible for production, transformation, storage, release, regulation of substances. 5 Zang organs are heart, lungs, liver, spleen, and kidney. Pericardium is considered the 6th Zang organ in the channel theory. Now let's go to the Fu organs. They are hollow, they belong to Yang, they are more exterior. The 6 Fu organs process and convey matter, do not store. Thus, they are filled but not full. Fu organs are filled and evacuated continuously. They are filled with food or digestive products, and they evacuate these products into the next Fu organ, or the body excretes these waste products. The 6 Fu organs are stomach, small intestine, large intestine, gallbladder, bladder, triple burner, or the sanjiao. Zang-Fu organ theory forms the basis of TCM pattern differentiation. That is why it is very important to know the different aspects of the Zang-Fu organ theory. Thank you very much for your attention. Let's now proceed to Meridian Theory, and let's listen to Ma'am Vina Pascua from Baguio for her presentation. Good afternoon, Ma'am Vina.
Good afternoon po, Doctor. Good afternoon po sa lahat. So, basics po tayo. Acupuncture channels, day 2 po. Overview of the regular meridians. Of the 12 regular meridians, 6 po are yin and 6 are yang meridians. A meridian either runs along the arm o kaya sa leg, not both. And out of the 6 yin meridians naman, 3 po flow on the arm and 3 on the leg. Same with the yang meridians. The yang meridians tend to flow on the lateral and dorsal sides of the limbs, while yung yin meridians naman flow on the ventral and medial sides of the limbs. This is due to the fact that when humans walk on all 4 limbs as apes, the parts of the body that were exposed to the climatic influences became the protecting, ito yung yang parts of the body. This was the back of the lateral, dorsal sides of the 4 limbs, the parts of the body that were protected, yung yin, became the yin part. This is this being the front and ventral medial sides of the limbs. So dito regular meridians could be described as flowing in the following fashion. So tingnan na lang po natin, ito yung heaven at saka earth. Earth communicates with heaven through man. Heaven communicates with earth through man. So ito yung kidney, liver, and spleens. Stomach, gallbladder, and UB, yung earth naman. In the path in which heaven and earth communicate with each other, man stands in the middle. And so, heaven and earth communicate through man with each other. As the yin goes upwards from earth to heaven, the yin meridians too start on the foot and flow up to the body along the medial side of the legs. Yung first points po of the yin meridians of the leg are always in the foot. Tandaan po natin yan. The yin meridians of the leg natatapos po sa thorax, where the yin meridians of the arm begin naman. The yin meridians of the arm flow upwards along the ventral medial side of the arm towards the fingers. At dito nag-i-end. So the last points of the yin meridians of the arm are always at the fingers. The yang meridians of the arm begin at the fingers as the yang flows through man from heaven to the earth. These flow to the face at nag-i-end na rin doon. The yang meridians of the leg start at the face and flow along the lateral and dorsal sides of the body at nag-i-end sa mga paa. The stomach meridians is an exemption here as it flows on the front of the body. The last points of the yang meridians are always at the feet. So meron pong 3 levels of yin within the yin meridians: lesser, great, and extreme yin. Depende po sa ratio ng yin and yang. Assuming that absolute balance between the yin and yang, ganito po ang itsura. So nakikita natin dito yung meridian, relationship, yin and yang, arm and leg. Sa xiao yin, lesser yin, ganyan po sa heart at saka kidney. Sa tai yin naman, great yin, sa lung at saka sa spleen. Ang Ju yin, extreme yin, ang relationship to yin and yang, at ang arm sa pericardium, ang leg sa liver po. The lung meridian flows bilaterally in the arms and the meridian of the same polarity, the spleen. It flows bilaterally in both legs. Therefore, we are able to treat the same energy from either limb. We can treat illnesses of the right side on the left and of the upper part of the body on the lower part. The spleen meridian begins in the foot at saka nag-i-end sa thorax. The lung meridian starts near the spleen meridian on the thorax and continues the flow of energy to the finger as a continuous line. Pag sa lesser yin organs naman, the heart at saka yung kidney are considered yin organs because like all yin organs, nagno-nourish po ng body with blood and irrigate it with water. But they are also the yin organs with the less yin character because the heart is constantly active and it not only nourishes the body with blood and oxygen, Pero siya ay nag-warm din sa body by circulating blood. The kidney not only stores and distributes water, it also governs the reproductive function, which is a very young aspect. Therefore, these two organs are said to be the yin organs with the less yin character. The great yin organs naman, yung lung at saka yung spleen. Importante po ito for nourishing organs of the body. The lung nourishes the body through breathing, and the spleen absorbs, stores, and distributes nutrients to the center and periphery of the body. They are yin organs with a large quantity of yin, but they also have a reasonable amount of functional yang para makatulong po with absorbing and distributing the nutrients. The next po tayo, the extreme yin organs, the pericardium and the liver. They have a very high yin in comparison to their yang. So they are therefore also called unstable yin organs. Ibig sabihin po nito that when the yin in these organs increases beyond a level, it transform into yang, as anything that reaches the point of extreme should go to the opposite side. We should take care not to over-tonify the yin of these two organs, as maaring digit more and more yang symptoms. The liver meridian flows from the foot to the chest, and the pericardium naman, meridian flows from the thorax to the arm at nag-i-end po sa finger. So dito nakikita natin yung level, yung relationship of yin and yang sa arm at saka sa leg. Lesser yang, xiao yang, so sa arm triple Warner, gallbladder, great yang, yang sa small intestine at urinary bladder. Sa bright yang or yang ming, large intestine to stomach. The lesser yang meridians, triple Warmer and gallbladder flow on the side of the body and face. Nagsisimula po ito sa finger with triple Warmer and flow along the lateral side of the arm to the face. The gallbladder meridian starts near the end point of the triple Warmer meridian and flows on the side of the head and face to the side of the thorax, hip and leg, and nag-i-end po sa mga paa o sa paa. The great yang meridians are the most important in maintaining the warmth at saka yung functional aspects sa katawan. Yung small intestine meridian is coupled with the heat and shares its function sa pagsisirculate po ng blood at warming the body. Pag yung small intestine yang decreases, this would severely affect, naapektuhan po yung active function ng heart. Itong small intestine meridian naman begins in the finger and flows along the posterior side of the arm to the face, where yung urinary bladder meridian takes over, running over the head to the occiput, and then down the back of the body and leg at nag-i-end sa paa. This is also the coupled yang meridian of the kidney. It maintains yung postural yang of the back at saka yung warming and functional yang of the urinary system and the reproductive system. Bright yang or yang ming means bright, gaya ng sun. The sun is a yellow globe and there was no dark area. Ibig sabihin po nito na yung organs na ito have the most yang with little space for yin. So this makes them the extreme yang organs. Pag yung yang increases more than a certain level, which is the extreme point of yang, it would transform to yin. It is therefore interesting to note that the tonification of large intestine yang, ito yung therapy for high fever as it makes the fever rise and fall within a few minutes. Stomach and large intestine can change to yin very quickly when over-tonified, either with needles o kaya yung flavors that increases their yang, such as spicy food for LI and sweet food for stomach. So yan lang po. Thank you very much, Doctor. Thank you sa lahat po.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Vina. Okay, we now proceed to the next. Dali lang po. We now proceed to the last but not the least topic, bleeding, featuring coughing blood. This may range from coughing up large amounts of blood to coughing sputum, which is only slightly bloodstream. The patterns discussed are as follows: wind, dry, heat, liver fire invading lungs, lung yin deficiency with empty heat, spleen and lung qi deficient, not holding blood. Wind, dry, heat. Clinical manifestations: itchy throat, cough with blood-tinged sputum, nosebleed, dry mouth, and nose aversion to cold. Tongue is red on the sides and front part, dry. Pulse, floating rapid. Treatment principle: clear heat, expel wind, moisten the lungs, stop bleeding. Points: lung 11, Li 4, bladder 12, lung 6, lung 9, Ren 12, spleen 6. Reducing method for the first 4 points, that's lung 11, Li 4, bladder 12, and lung 6, and reinforcing on the others. No moxa. Lung 11, Li 4, and bladder 12 will expel wind and clear heat. Lung 6, the accumulation point of the lungs, will stop bleeding from the lung channel. Lung 9, Ren 12, and spleen 6 will nourish the lung fluids. Liver fire invading lungs. Clinical manifestations: cough with fresh red blood in sputum, hypochondrial pain, irritability, propensity to outbursts of anger, a bitter taste. Tongue is red with yellow coating. Pulse, wiry and rapid. Treatment principle: drain liver fire, clear the lungs, cool blood, and stop bleeding. Points: liver 2, Li 11, spleen 10, bladder 17, lung 10, and lung 6. Reducing or even method. Liver 2 drains liver fire. Li 11, spleen 10, and bladder 17 cool blood and stop bleeding. Lung 10 clears lung heat. Lung 6 accumulation point stops bleeding from the lung channel. Now let's go to lung yin deficiency with empty heat. Clinical manifestations: cough with scanty blood-tinged sputum, dry throat, afternoon fever or feeling of heat, night sweating, 5-palm heat. Tongue is red without coating and dry. Pulse is floating empty and rapid. Treatment principle: nourish lung yin, clear empty heat, stop bleeding. Points: lung 9, Ren 12, spleen 6, stomach 36, kidney 3, lung 10, and lung 6. Reducing method on lung 10 and lung 6, reinforcing method for all the other points. No moxa. Lung 9 nourishes lung yin. Ren 12, spleen 6, and stomach 36 strengthen the earth to nourish metal. The stomach is also the origin of fluids, so that tonifying these points will benefit fluids and yin. Kidney 3 nourishes yin. Lung 10 clears lung heat, and lung 6 stops bleeding. Thank you very much for listening, and see you next time. Okay, exit mo na po ako.
Isa pa.